Hey, so in this short video, I want to talk about 3 different things you can do to increase your income and your profitability this year for the remainder of 2024. Can you believe it's already June? We're already halfway through 2024. If you haven't reached your goals yet, I understand. If you're not on track, I understand. But listen, there's a few things you can do to very easily change that in your favor to get back on the right track. So one of those things is looking at your cash versus your insurance collections. What is the gap there, right? Are you mostly insurance? I find that honestly a lot of clinics are. They think they're maybe 50-50 or so, but turns out they're more 75, 80, 90% reliant on insurance. And as you know, as you've experienced over the last all of the years, insurance decides to pay less and less every year for the same services. And the same amount of volume now is earning you less and less money, which really is not the direction I'm sure you want to be going in. I'm sure you can agree with that, right? So what do we do about it? Well, look at the gap there. And first of all, you just need to figure out where you are, right? Are you offering cash services? And if you are they actually coming in and becoming profitable for you? So is it more volume based, like HRT and weight loss, right? It's a pretty low ticket item. You know, it's maybe a couple $100s a month. $299 is pretty standard for a TRT program each month for men. And look at then that's a volume type service. So how many patients do you have doing that? If you're not doing it at all, why not? Why are you not doing that yet, right? Let us know. We've got a whole program on it that tells you everything from the provider's dosing and the standard operating procedures to what the front desk says on the phone when a patient comes in and asks about it, right? So we can absolutely share that with you. But anyway, make sure that you're then comparing to be able to see, okay, what's the gap here? And now that you know, what do you do about it? Do you introduce more cash services? Or do you need to debug? So that's the second thing, is do you need to debug what's actually going on, right? Like maybe people are signed up and you think they're paying, but they're not. Their card has expired for the monthly payment. Maybe they simply declined somehow their monthly payment, so now they're not actually paying you, right? Like, did you ever get a card on file for it? Maybe that got forgotten from like day one. Maybe they've never made a payment. I mean, you have to go in and audit these things and see what's missing there. You have to do the same thing on the insurance side as well, right? Like if you are billing insurance, really you should be at a 70 to 80% collection rate. That's ideal, right? Because you know you're going to have some write-offs. But if you are billing insurance and your collection rate, you find that it is less than 70%, big red flag. You need to look into that with your biller, or, you know, if you're billing in-house, look into that immediately. I cannot stress how important this is. There have been so many times, and myself included, when I worked in clinic, I transferred from being in one location in Colorado as being just a case manager doing the sales in the office to then going to another clinic and I was the production manager. So now, okay, I'm looking at all of these billing reports and I'm seeing that, oh, I'm not really getting paid very much money for all these services. So what's the point in promoting more of these services and getting more volume if we're just working for free, right? From insurance. So that's where you have to go in and debug. You know, luckily we had an amazing biller that I could work with and ask lots of questions because I didn't know what all of the information meant, right? I didn't know what to look for in the reports and certainly not how to go about fixing it. So debug it there. And then the third thing kind of ties into that is the team being on the same page, right? So get them on the same page, get the training in, right? Like I did training with the biller. And then for all of the people who were, you know, creating their fee slips or sending out those claims to the biller, to the clearinghouse, they have to get the training too. Because, you know, it can't be on one person. It can't be just on you to go and make sure that all of that looks good, right? It's every person's individual responsibility to go in and make sure that what they're doing is according to the system and that it is happening properly, effectively, efficiently. Right, so the training is huge. That is your greatest investment for your team. I could talk about that later. I probably will because training is so important. But that's the third thing, right? So you got to make sure, look at the gap, right? Like what are you doing? Are you just insurance or are you doing some cash too? Because cash is king, right? Then you got to debug it. Well, what's going on here, right? Are we collecting the monthly payment? Are we getting the insurance payments? If not, what's happening and why? And then you got to train the team on the system, right? Make sure that they know what the standard operating procedure is and make sure that that training is perfectly in place, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of these problems that keep recurring and you're going to continuously be debugging and nobody wants to do that. So those are the 3 tips for you. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you need some help because I've been there, I've done that, and I certainly could not have done it alone. feel free to reach out. My name is Alyssa from the Medical Professional Dojo. I love doing this type of thing with clinics, going in and helping them to debug and really develop the better systems and keep those systems running and implemented with an awesome team. So reach out and I'm happy to assist you.